Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Season 1, Episode 4, titled Hitting the Big Time. This episode is pretty much all a suit montage. It is basically a big old suit montage. You know, Norman Osborn and Peter Parker are working together, and Norman's like, dude, you need a better suit. I mean, you need a better suit. And Peter's like, well, I got a suit right here. I mean, it's red and blue, and it's kind of like what I've been wearing for the last, 60 plus years. No. Norman, you pick other suits. We can always try them out. And every time Peter wears a suit, it's a bit weird. It's a bit funky. It's a bit like it's just something happens. Like he's wearing one with a cape, and he gets caught with the capes because clearly Norman didn't get the memos of no capes. I mean, it's Disney, you know. You need Aquamarine. With the whole no capes. You remember when Peter, you remember that one time you were trying to fight and you get caught halfway through and you got yourself beat up? That's why you had no capes. But what Thor? No capes. That's right, no capes. No capes. But then we have one that is more Flighter-Man than Spider-Man. He's flying around, but Peter having a hard time trolling the wings, which is in a way another cape. That was showing no capes. And then does a simple thing of helping a little girl getting her balloon back. And staring at her. Why? Because he started to go all Batman. He is wearing all black. It's like, normally we like when you wear all black, Peter. In all black suit. But not that one, because that stared the shit out of that kid. And it's not your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, it is your terrifying neighborhood Spider-Man wearing that black suit. And of course it leads to what he'll be probably wearing in the next episode too, which is the future, him wearing the suit that he wore in the comics when he was part of the Fantastic Four. You may say, would that make it the Fantastic Five? No, Johnny Storm was dead. They killed him and torch off for I don't know, a year or two, I don't know. And then he came back to life with I don't know, by the stone of or some shit like that. Yeah, it's comics. It's a soap opera, okay? People die and they come back to life. It's just the nature of things. Anyway, but what happened was Spider-Man, Peter Parker, took Johnny's place and was now part of the Fantastic Four. They all wear white, and had the thing called the Future Foundation, and this is the suit he wore. And it's a cool suit. It's a neat suit, and you had a neat little action sequence. It's not the typical, you thinking, you're going to have a big action sequence, you find the bad guys. No, it's not that. It's saving people. Stopping which is the big action sequence with him wearing the suit. Which is quite well done and well put together. I was like, you know what, for the humor aspect and the comic relief of just like Peter wearing suits, I'm on board. Of course, we get a couple other things in this episode. We get a hint of the Scorpion, who is part of a gang, which is kind of is the line of the MCU version of Scorpion. Just because he showed up in he showed up in Homecoming, so it's kind of in the lines of the Scorpion that we were introduced in that film. But it's clearly that's the competition game, because Lincoln, Lonnie, is now part of a gang. Taking his brother's placement, he is now part of the gang, and he comes across the leaders or members of Scorpion's gang, and clearly he's going to be a big bad at some point in it. I think it's kind of new, because I think there has been some production images of Scorpion wishing his tail around. So of course they hit him, and he's covered in tags, and the Scorpion gang. So we have hints of Scorpion. This episode is also very heavily into the events of the MCU because during this episode we gain the Sokovia Accord, and of course the question of the Sokovia Accord is, does that mean no Avengers, but also does that mean Spider-Man, Peter can't be Spider-Man anymore? He needs to swing around all the time, no costume heroes, that whole type of thing. Is that what it means? And so the questions of it. So, but we get in the events of the MCU are now weaving into the story of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. So it's like showing people, this is still, in a way, we're technically still in the MCU, but we're in this other world, we're in this other part of the multiverse where things are a little bit different, which is kind of nice. And that, but and of course the big reveal at the end is we see Dr. Octavius, which is kind of easy to tell, like, who created all this gear? Oh my god, it's Doc Ock. Who could know? Like, and he says one line, it'll be like, oh, was it Lloyd? Lloyd, what I can do you for? And of course he, the design of him is, of course, something out of sway off of the old Steve Ditko art style of what he looked like way back in the 60s. So I'm this episode is good. This is a good episode. I am kind of liking this episode 3 and 4. Now we of course got 5 more. I got episode 5 left for tonight, but so far I'm enjoying this. I think now because the story is finally picking up. The story is now finally picking up, and it's like, okay, we're nearly at the halfway point. Let's see how they hooked us. The oh shit moments. But anyway, comment below, let me know what you thought of episode 4.